Thank you, Mr. Case. The chair now recognizes Mr. Gosar for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gunnar, I love your comment. You know, the technology is going to save us. Unfortunately, we did something very bad about a decade ago. We went from first to file to first to discover, or first to discover to first to file. And that's plummeted us from number 1 in the world to now below number 10. But the innovation still comes, okay? So all of you four, are all of you aware that there's another process now for processing metals called these microconcentrators?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, so there were 3 demos from what I understand, and they've gone to scale. In fact, I'm from Arizona, and one of the big copper mines is going to be opening up here shortly, and it's over by Kingman, Arizona. They could not get any smeltering done in Utah. They could at Kennecott. They couldn't even do it in southern Arizona. So they were going to send it to Mexico, which then sends it to China, and then they take it over. So what we looked at was these microconcentrators. They use limited water. They're a closed system. They pulverize all the ore to a fine powder. They use electrolysis and surfactants to get all these things off of there. It's amazing, okay? And then we're going to do plug and plays. So how many tons you take out, you have to have so many of these plug and plays. And what it does is it takes everything off. So if you got copper, you got manganese or cobalt, all these things come up. So that technology is going to be really, really cool. So would that change your mind if you could, if that was possible in this country with these microconcentrators?
I believe so. I think there's a lot of innovation happening on the mineral processing side, and we absolutely do need to do mineral processing here in the States. It's a critical vulnerability to not do it.
So what if I told you that we've already set this up because we set ourselves up because of the Carter Doctrine? And the Carter Doctrine was where we gave China all our innovation, free, okay? Now, when you come back to the United States, a comment was made by the ranking member that there's nothing around for us to do. And Mr. Barron, you made the accurate statement about when the processing last was done, okay? So they created this process, and I love the environmental laws. I love them, love them, love them. We got to abide by them. But they created this because they said no mining whatsoever. So they've directed us down this pathway. Would you agree, Mr. Gunsaker?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have to be able to build and do some heavy industries, including mining and mineral processing. It's critical for our national security. We cannot cede all of this control to China.
So, Mr. Melito, did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. You're very passionate about this, and oil and gas and all this. And we're going to need all the electrons we need, we can get as soon as we can get them, because they're growing so fast. So do you see similarities between oil and gas and these minerals extractions?
Oh, absolutely. If you'd have talked about our industry being in 5,000 feet of water and 20,000 pounds per square inch of pressure and 400 degrees of heat out in the Gulf, that we would have been actually developing resources under those conditions, it was not even dreamed of 10, 15, 20 years ago, and we're doing it. We're getting 25,000 barrels per well. Technology drives us toward success, and that's what we're going to see in this industry right here.
See, I agree with you. See, we had a stockpile of manganese over at this Weldon place in Arizona. It was used during World War II for the manganese, and it had all these tailings pilings. We actually got more out of those tailings today than they did during World War II. So I just find it very fascinating. We find ourselves in this jam, but it's the other side who has said, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. It's not about no, it's about what it takes to get to yes. That's the biggest key here. You know, you can either take it from China and take it and take it with a pound full of sugar, or you do it here and use a pound full of energy and innovation.
We went from energy dependent to the world's largest oil and natural gas producer in the world because we developed the technologies to get oil and gas out of rocks that we were told we couldn't get it out of. Yeah. And we're going to do the same thing with these.
So the little nodules, I want to get back to you because I got one in my office, the big one, about this big. And they thought it was a petrified egg going through the TSH screening. They had so much fun, and it was costing me late to my plane. But anyway, it's filled with niobium in it, I think I said it right. And the innovation is just going to be interesting to find this. So when you're disturbing this this seaboard, sea life or whatever, they're lifting it out of sand in most cases, are they not?
I'd prefer to defer to the companies that are actually deploying the technologies. I could talk generally about it. I know there's a lot of different technologies out there that are being designed to do it with as little environmental impact as possible, but we got the companies here.
Yeah, our technology that we've spent the last 5 years developing is a hovering robot. It doesn't land, it doesn't generate a sediment plume, it uses AI and it picks the nodules one by one. If we detect life, like an octopus or its eggs, we don't disturb it. It's the most cleanest form of miming you can imagine. Literally, you would come back a few days later and you wouldn't even be able to tell that the mining has occurred because we're only going to remove a small percent, say 10%.
Sure.
And maybe to correct the record. There you go. Maybe to correct the record before about these ecosystems don't recover. This is a bulk commodity. We have an estimated 2 billion tons of these on our license areas, and we have to pick them up with the greatest efficiency and the least impact. And our very heavy investment in environmental research has proven that these areas recover very fast. In fact, in 2022, we ran commercial trials. We went back a year later to the same area to see how the area had been recovering. We found that the activity was actually increased in some areas because there's so little food down there that when you make a disturbance, the critters go looking for food. And we found nodules in the highest impact areas cleared of sediment. And they were cleared because organisms had crawled over them looking for nutrients. So I think, the environmental critics, activists, have got way out over their skis on this. And, I think it's absolutely the winning case, the best place to be getting our critical minerals from polymetallic nodules.
By the way, mine came from the Mojave Desert.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.